Hello. I really need to come up with a better intro than hello, hello, hello. But hi, it's me. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Theo. I'm still kind of tired, but you know, that's just my general state of being nowadays. It's only been a week. How have I already forgotten how to stream? But yes, so as I mentioned in my going live tweet, and as the stream title implies, I've been thinking about how I want to handle things going forward. Because in case it isn't obvious and people haven't noticed, I haven't been streaming as much as I used to. Over the past 3 months, there have been so many times where I'm just like, I'm tired, I don't want to stream. And part of it I can blame on I was busy because my mom's visiting. Oh, I'm visiting my mom. Oh, there's an inspection and I need to clean my apartment. Which yeah, that takes priority. But then there's also just been a lot of times where I'm like, I'm tired, I don't want to stream. And on one hand, it's fair, take care of yourself. But on the other hand, I used to just push through it. I'd just be like, oh, I'll just play a quiet game or something. But nowadays, I'm just like, I don't want to do it. And so I've just sort of been thinking lately, what do I want to do with streaming? Because I had this all mapped out in my head. I don't think I thought through the intro of this stream. It's I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to get to that point. I'm not stopping streaming. I can say that as much. I can say that now before anyone gets the wrong idea. Not like anyone's watching besides Theo. I think that's part of it. I really need to update my heckin'... Why do I still have my work mouse here on my desk? Shove that in my bag. I need to update my stream manager layout to take off my viewer count and sub count, because that's not good for me. Here's the thing, right? I used to worry about doing certain streams and be like, oh, people aren't gonna want to watch that. But heckin', ever since I've had my stream manager open so that I can place stream markers so I know where to clip, I've been able to see my viewer count the entire stream. And now I know that doesn't matter what I stream, no one's gonna watch anyway. And admittedly, it's a little discouraging. I've been going at this for over 2 years now, and I'm still unable to attract anyone besides a couple friends. And I don't know. So I've just sort of been thinking what can get me excited about streaming again? And I think the answer is I can't attract viewers anyway, so why bother? Why don't I just stream for myself? Why don't I just do what I want to do instead of worrying about what people are going to want to watch? Because people aren't going to want to watch anything from me. It sounds self-deprecating, but it's technically true. Doing what you want to do is for the best, yeah. So I've been thinking what does that actually mean? What do I want to do? So I did mention it on Twitter a few days ago. I was there is a temptation to just drop gaming streams altogether and just focus on Lego and rambling and shit. I'm not gonna completely drop gaming, but I would like to incorporate more of obviously Lego is going to stick around, and the Lego Studio stream I did, I don't remember if it was last month or the month before. I think it was last month. where I built the Sea of Stars thing. I would like that to become something I do more regularly as well. Also because it ties into something else that I'd like to do, which I'll mention in a sec. And I'd also like to do more, like, rambling streams. Sort of in the vein of, like, what I did for my anniversary. Or, like just hypothetical, random things that, like, I am particularly passionate about, but I can't really do anything with because I don't, like, have the time or the skills or whatever. So I just want to ramble and get my ideas out, you know? Realistically, no one should care about that besides me, but, like, oh well, this is my outlet for that now. Instead of just letting it rot in a spreadsheet on my computer, that this lets me, like, you know, put it out there into the open and, you know, see if anyone's interested, I guess. However, I won't just be doing that. I will still be doing gaming streams, but I've had a bit of a think about how I want to handle gaming streams, because it's no secret that a lot of the games that I like, I've said in the past, they're not really good stream games. And I think I want to take that back. They're not really good stream games for the way I've been streaming them. Because, like, you know, people can stream, like, long-ass JRPGs or mystery games or whatnot. I was subscribed to people who did that on YouTube. However, for someone like me, who streams, like, usually 3 hours at most, twice a week, trying to do multiple different games, because, like, you know, variety streamer. It just doesn't work, because for a long-ass game like that, you know, you make too little progress. And you're just, like, getting nowhere. And, like, part of the reason I think why I've been kind of indecisive lately, going like, oh, what do I want to play today? Is because, like, it's tough to go back to a game like that and thinking, like, oh, I'm gonna, like, get through, like, nothing, and then it'll sit there for a couple weeks, and then I'll eventually have to go back to it and, like, get through barely anything again. And, like, I've jumped through a few different ways of handling what I play on stream. Like, I think at the beginning I just did a whole bunch of things to get me started, and then, like, I settled down into doing, like, maybe, like, 2 or 3 games at once, and then, like, switching between them or whatnot. And then, like, that became too much of a thing, and I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna play what I want to play. Yeah. The only times I've really deviated from that was where there was a big important release that I was super hyped for, and I just wanted to get through it all. So, like, when Splatoon 3 came out, I played through the entire story mode in, like, a single weekend. And when Pokemon came out, I played nothing but Pokemon. And I would have played nothing but Pokemon until I finished it, but unfortunately my laptop needed to be repaired, so I couldn't use my capture card. But if that hadn't happened, then I would have streamed Pokemon until I beat it, and, you know, nothing but Pokemon. And, like, thinking about it, that's normally how I play games. I don't, you know, go on and off alternating between different things most of the time. Normally, a game comes out, I play that and nothing but that until I finish it, or until something else comes out that I'm excited for, and like, I switch to that instead. And then when I finish that, maybe I'll go back to the original, or maybe I'll get distracted by something else. And that's just how I do it most of the time. So it like, the way I play games on stream is just generally not. And I think the reason I did it this way is because that's what I saw other streamers doing. I'm like, oh, other people, like, they play a bunch of different games, so that, like, like their audience doesn't get bored of just the same thing, or if like a particular audience member doesn't like one game, there's still like other streams they can come to, blah blah blah. But the thing is, I don't have an audience anyway, so who gives a shit? I should just do it how I want to do it. And I feel like if I just focus on one game, I'm probably going to handle it better, because like, sure, each individual stream I'm only making a little progress, but I'm consistently making progress in the one game instead of jumping around between a whole bunch of different ones. And then, you know, if I get bored of the one game, I can always switch it up to something else. Like, that's how I play games normally. So, I'm not gonna play it today because bruh, my fucking connection? Bruh. Okay, we good again. We dropped some frames, but it's fine now. Yeah, so I'm not gonna play it today because I didn't know how long this rambling section at the start would be. So I didn't want to stick this in front of like a regular gaming stream or whatever. But like after this week in fact, because we're not gonna game tomorrow. After this week, I'm probably just gonna focus on finishing off another code. And then once we finish that, like, who knows? I'll either go back to one of the games that I've already been playing through, or I'll grab one of my games that I haven't even started yet that I want to play. I've got 3 games that I bought last year that are just sitting on my shelf completely unplayed, and I'm dropping frames again. And I want to play through them. It's been raining this morning, so, you know, if my internet's a bit unstable, that's probably why. It isn't raining at the moment, but it was raining earlier. So my washing is hung up inside instead of on the line outside. But yeah. Now there is also, so that's all the Twitch content, like Lego stuff, rambling stuff, and focusing on one game instead of jumping between a whole bunch of different things. There's also YouTube. So at the moment, my YouTube channel is basically just, you know, Twitch clips being uploaded as YouTube shorts. Twitch clips that, for the most part, I've made myself because, you know, when there's only one viewer, there are not a lot of clips. And then also stream VODs, obviously. The occasional song cover. I do have a couple covers I need to work on that I've been avoiding because the thing about recording song covers is I can't multitask while doing the actual singing. And I live off of multitasking. I always have to have like multiple things going at once. So it's difficult to convince myself to just focus in and like sing the song. But I do have a couple that I want to do in like a couple months, so I really need to focus in on that. Maybe if I can concentrate, I'll work on those this weekend. But then also an idea I've had for a bit that I haven't acted upon because I don't know, I just haven't had the right time for it. I wanted to do a thing. I showed it off before. I think I still have an image saved of it. Do I still have it? Oh, not in that folder. Oh, this one. It's like this, remember this? Where I made like a base and then like tried to make a build based on myself on it. The idea behind the base was that I was like, oh, what if I did like a thing where it's like I made a video like, oh, I made YouTubers out of Lego, and then like the video was like me making builds like this. I want to do something like that, but like the idea would be I build them on stream, and then take the stream footage and like speed it up and just have me like talking over it. That way I don't need to like record it separately and like devote non-stream time to it. It's the shortcut method, you know? I do have a bit of planning that I would need to do before I can actually make that a thing, but you know, it could be a thing for the future. We'll see. Yeah. Also, I will show off something. I showed it off on Twitter. It's not working out the way I want it to, but it's in progress. Do I have an image of it here? Oh, this is a bit brighter than it's supposed to be, but oh well. I tried to make a minifig of myself. The leg printing is messed up. It doesn't want to work properly. Or maybe if I just stretch it like upwards a bit. Oh, but then the bottom's not going to line up. The leg printing is weird because like it gives you a flat image to like put it on, but then the surface itself isn't flat. So it stretches it out and like it doesn't line up to where you think it should line up. So in case you're wondering why I was trying to make a Lego minifig of myself, it's because I wanted to make a new PNG for my my Lego building streams and just have it be a minifig of myself. The problem is, right, here's the thing, this would be so much easier if the fucking skirt pieces just worked properly in what's it called? In Bricklink Studio, but they don't. Cause like if there was a real minifig of myself, this is not how Lego would do it. They would not print on the legs, they would just put a skirt on. But I can't put the fucking skirt on because it doesn't work. Like, bruh. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. And then, like, this will be my new PNG for the Lego building streams. Realistically, like even ignoring, like, the legs, they would not do leg printing this detailed for someone like me. They would probably just do... They would probably do the skirt piece and then have the legs just be jewel molded. They wouldn't do all the details on the this. And then also, they would not do these details on the sleeves. They wouldn't do the arm printing. For such a minor detail, they'd just leave the arms plain. But like, aside from the messed up legs, which I'll need to figure out how to fix. Yeah, this will be a thing at some point. There's an alternate head print on the back side of the head so that like it can actually show me talking when, you know, as a PNG, but for now it's just this. I'll do it at some point. Is there anything else I needed to talk about? We got rambling, got Lego, plans for YouTube videos, plans for gaming. I think that's it. Shorter than I thought it would be, because I was like, oh yeah, today's just gonna be me talking about like how I want to handle things going forward. So how's your day been? That works a lot better when there's people in chat. Yeah. But is my tea cool enough to drink yet? I think it is. Nice. I finished the honey I was having, so now the honey in my tea is like genuine, authentic, country bee honey. It's not the store-bought stuff. It's stuff that my parents got from a bee farm that's near them. When I was up for Easter, my mum was like, hey, you want some honey? I was like, oh yeah, sure. Because like, I have it in my tea in order to help my throat, because like, I guess I'm more used to it now, but like, man, my throat used to like die so much with streams like this. I'm like talking so much. And also just the fact that I'm doing it so early in the morning. Like, no, this is a filthy city dweller, so I don't know what natural stuff is. I mean, I am also a city dweller. I used to live in the suburbs, then I went to the country for like almost 5 years, just under. I remember when I was applying for this job, they're like, hey, we need to like perform a background check or something, we need all the addresses you've lived at for the past 5 years. And if I'd been living there just a little longer, it would have just been where my parents currently live, out there in the country. But because it was just under, I had to tell them the rental place we had before we got that house, and my old place on the in the suburbs. Yes, now I live in the city because work. It is a nice area though. I remember when I first moved in, I was like, it's in the city, but it doesn't feel like city, you know? Like, when I think of the city, I think like skyscrapers and shit. Which is like, around the area I work, like for one of my offices at least. The other office is in a nice-ish area. But like, one of the offices is like super city. Tell you one thing that stresses me out about the city. How many people cross the road without waiting for the crosswalk lights to turn like green? They'll just be like, oh, there's no cars here, sure, I'll just cross. And I'm like, the lights are still green, cars can still come, are you stupid? And then sometimes cars do come, and they just sort of wait in the middle of the road for the car to pass before they cross. I was like, are you nuts? You saved like 5 seconds of waiting. Can you not just wait for the light to turn green? Jeez. Anyway, city's too busy. Jaywalkers give me anxiety to see legit seniors going so. Jeez. Yeah, I've walked the route from the bus from the bus stop / tram station enough times that I know, like, I'm like, okay, so that light's turned green. It'll be like one more cycle before the crosswalk turns green, and then I can go. But then people will see the lights turn red, and they're like, oh, now we can cross. Like, no, the light to turn left is still going to be green. But because there's like barely any cars that turn left at that spot, they're like, yeah, no, we can just walk. Man. Jeez. You know what else gets me about living in the city? There's too many people, and too many people means there's too many slow walkers. You just get... It's very busy, so like you can't just weave in and out of people. But then you get like people who like walk very slow and I'm like, I got places to be. Can you, like, speed up just a bit? Or, like, move to the side so I can get around you? Maybe. So annoying, right? They say people who walk fast tend to be more stressed, and it's like, of course we do. We keep getting stuck behind slow people. Cramped sidewalks, yes! The amount of times, like, I've been walking... Because, like, my route from the bus stop to the office takes me past a primary school. And I'll just see, like, there's groups of, like, 3 or 4 kids walking next to each other. And, like, can you move to the side, please? I need to get past you. Like, even worse when they're, like, looking down at their phone and, like, kid, I am right in front of you. Can you, like, look up so you can move to the side? Like, please. I am far from me to say, like, oh, phone bad. I am boomer. Haha. Because, like, I spend all day on phones and or computers. Even in the office, I'm, like, constantly checking Twitter because I'm, like, it's the only way to stop my brain from completely shutting down. But, like, if you're walking somewhere, I feel like the only reason you should have your phone out is if, like, you've gotten a text and you need to check it, or if you, like, don't know where you're going and you need to have, like, a map open to see where it is. You shouldn't just be staring at your phone while you're walking around where there's, like, actual people you could walk into. Thankfully, I haven't had someone actually walk into me because of that. Either, like, I'll move aside at the last second, or they'll, like, look up and like, oh. Man, this is just... We've gotten through the heckin' the updates, the content updates, and now it's just me complaining about living in the city. It's been half an hour of just rambling. It is, I will say, it is a lot easier to ramble when there's an actual topic to ramble about. When it's just like this, where I'm just talking, I'm just like, what the fuck do I talk about? Rambling streams are great. I'm glad you enjoy it. Oh, I was thinking about... Because, like, we're almost through April now, and I still need to get a couple Lego sets for May and June. Because, like, you know, monthly Lego stream. So I was thinking, like, oh, is there going to be any gift with purchases that I can get? There is a gift with purchase at the moment, but it's a very high price range. It's the same price range as, like, the micro rocket launch pad that I did a couple months ago. But it's like, I can put an image of it up, actually. It's not really something I'm particularly interested in, like, oh, I need to get that one. Like, the micro rocket launch pad, I only got out of convenience because I was ordering something anyway, but, like... Oh, what the fuck do you mean the official Lego website uses WebP images? Fuck off. Fucking WebP. Jeez. Oh, Untitled already exists? What? What do I have saved as Untitled in this folder? Oh, it's a map. Oh, that. Oh, that was when I was... No? Oh, that was when I was trying to get all the trainers in the dome in Scarlet and Violet. Because I was trying to grind up the points I needed in order to in order to get the starters. I would say something is entitled one sniff. It already existed. Oh no. So this is the gift with purchase that's on at the moment. It's like a little fruit shop. And like, it's neat, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really the kind of set I'm looking for. Like, it's a nice... I guess it's nice for like city builders, because people do make little Lego cities and whatnot. That's not really my style, I don't think. Like, the heckin' micro rocket launch pad, it wasn't something I would have bought, like... I would have bought if it was just a set by itself. But I still enjoy it, because it's like it's toys. I can just, you know... When I feel like every now and then I'll just pick up the fucking, like, the little spaceship and just zoom it around a bit. It's fun. It's fun. But this is just like, it's just a display piece. I'm like, it's neat, but also, I don't know. Add wheels to the bases. Now there's an idea. Yeah. I don't know if I'll, cause like, I don't, the threshold is I would need to order 320 Australian dollars worth of Lego in one order, which is kind of a lot. You know? I only managed to do it last time because like the set I wanted for my birthday is like super fucking expensive. Yeah. At the moment, the gift with purchase... Oh, it's only 5 more days. Huh. I also got in my email, like, they were advertising, like, oh, for May, there's a bunch of Star Wars stuff coming because May the 4th. And there's this cool gift with purchase, and I'm like, oh, that's neat. That's kind of neat. I'm not that big into Star Wars, but the build looks neat. I could see myself getting that. And then I looked and it's like, oh, you need to spend specifically on Lego Star Wars stuff in order to qualify for this one. I'm like, okay, no. No thanks. I may be big on what I lovingly refer to as IP shit, but Star Wars not as much. But yeah. I guess I'll... I don't know. Hold on, let me check my wish list. What's in stock at the moment? Because I checked... Oh, it's not showing me the full heckin'... Oh no, I click here. Okay, I was clicking in the wrong spot. Oh, it came back in stock. No, not add to bag, you stupid shit. Yeah, because one of the ones I was looking at getting that's retiring this year, it was out of stock when I checked a couple days ago. It's back in stock now. But like, even if I get like both the sets I have on my list that are retiring this year, that's still only $180 for 2 relatively large sets too. So I think those big old thresholds maybe just not gonna be for me. And what else is in stock that I could add to that? Oh, is the New York postcards back in stock? I could get the fucking Statue of Liberty minifigure. I don't know. I'm not gonna do my shopping on stream. I'll leave that for a bit. But yeah. Gift with purchase sets are cool, but also they require you to spend a lot in one transaction. Online shopping stream sounds fun though. feel like it was... Oh, I remember during the heckin' Steam sale, I put a bunch of games in my cart and just be like, I don't know if I wanna... I'll just let them sit there for a bit. Let me think about it. And then when I finally came back to it, I was like, oh, sale's already ended. Okay, I'll remove these. But yeah, I don't know. Happened to be before. Aw. I did see, like, Fallout's not my kind of game, but I did see that, like, the Fallout series is, like, on sale or whatever. People advertising like, hey, heckin' Fallout New Vegas is like fucking $5 or some shit. It's like, wow. Yeah. I think the main reason I didn't buy them is like, I'm already spending a lot lately because of like my recent Lego obsession. And also I still have, like I mentioned during the heckin' frame drop and then forgot about, I've still got multiple games that I bought last year that I haven't played. In fact, one of them I haven't even taken out of the plastic wrap because, you know, I just haven't had time to play it. They're just sitting on my shelf. Hold on, I'm gonna grab them. Which one's still in the plastic? Okay. Yeah, so I've got Master Detective Archives Rain Code. I got that at like the same time as I got Pikmin 4. Still haven't played it. I was gonna play it off stream back when like my during the time when like my internet was being switched over, and so I just didn't have internet for the weekend. I was gonna play it then, but then I popped it in. It's like, hey, you need to update this game. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I'll leave it. Then I also have Neo: The World Ends With You. I'm holding it up as if the camera can see it, but it can't. I got that because like I really liked the original World Ends With You. I didn't play any of the remakes or whatnot, so I don't know if any of the additional content from those remakes is relevant to the sequel, but I guess I'll find out when I eventually get around to playing it. And then I have fucking Persona 5 Royal still in the plastic wrap. I bought this on sale at the same time as Neo: The World Ends With You, but the reason Tui is not in plastic wrap is I got that one pre-owned. I got Persona new. But yeah, I haven't even fucking unwrapped it yet. Anime figures still in the shipping boxes. Jeez. Oh, speaking of, I'll put these back and then I'll continue. Speaking of shipping boxes, my final shipment of plushies finally shipped. So that's exciting. I am running out of room on my shelf. I might need to move all the Lego up to like a higher spot on the shelf or something, because I don't know how I'm gonna fit the plushies. But like after that arrives, I am finally free from waiting for fucking HoloLive plushies. Ran out of room ages ago. Like, I could stuff more into them, it's just that, like, the newer ones would be covering up the old ones. And it's like, I don't want that, I want them all to be visible. I do probably have room to get, like, another one of the shelf that I keep them in, to, like, put that up against the wall. But, okay, model. Why are you doing that? I had to finish my tea before it goes completely cold. Oh, that was another thing that I was kind of considering using streams for. I've been thinking lately that like I want to draw more often, but like, see, here's the thing. I used to draw on stream, right? But I just think like I don't know how I feel about it anymore, because like I just remember this one time where I was tired, I was trying to draw an emote, and I was just incredibly frustrated that it wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. And like, I don't know if I can really focus well enough to draw on stream. At least not like properly, fully like rendered images and whatnot. Maybe I can just do sketches or whatnot. Because I have a shitload of characters that I've created and I've just never drawn them, so I just have a sort of a vague idea of how they look in my head. Hell, even some of the characters I have drawn, I still just have a vague idea of how they look, and I sometimes forget features. I have one character from my novel that I do need to get back to again. I stopped because I was exhausted, but I have one character that, like, she's supposed to have glasses, and I drew her having glasses. But for, like, 2 or 3 chapters... actually, yeah, 2, probably. For, like, two chapters, I just completely forgot she was supposed to have glasses. So in later parts, I started making deliberate note of it. Like, oh yeah, she it's dumb. Yeah, that's why I need to draw my characters, so I have a solid idea of how they're supposed to look. But I don't know. Here's the thing. I mentioned recently, I feel like I'd draw more often if I could find a more comfortable position to draw in. Because right now, if I want to draw, I either need to be at my desk, or if I want to, you know, be in bed, then I need to be sitting upright with like my legs crossed, tablet on my lap, laptop in front of me. I can't just like lay down and draw something, which is unfortunate because like, yeah, it's not the most comfortable position. There's a lot of things I can do just laying down, and drawing isn't one of them. Yeah, what do you mean? Something else to be easily comfortable, accessible for me to do on a regular basis, yeah. I've still got to draw heckin' this week's comic strip. I don't have any ideas. All of my recent comic strips have just been about how tired and exhausted I am. I was thinking maybe I could do another one about it raining while you're trying to do laundry, but no, I've already done like 2 of those. I can't squeeze a 3rd one out of that concept. I feel like I ran out of ideas for Meast of King like years ago, but I just kept on going. And they've become increasingly dumb. It's always either, oh, I am tired, or oh, I have no ideas, or just something that happened to me recently. Think you might need to take a break? No, I've been doing this weekly for... When did it start? Hold on. Let me see when I uploaded the first one. It was like right after Miiverse died. Oh man, I just haven't been uploading them to DeviantArt. Which, to be fair, considering how DeviantArt's been lately, that's probably fine. Jeez, 2018! Although I think a break might be helpful for fresh ideas and stuff. Thing is, I don't think it would be, because like it's only 2 years. I feel like I've sort of done all I can really do with these characters. They like, I've figured out now who all these characters are and what they all do. I don't know. Something to think about, I guess. Maybe I'll just try to have a brainstorming session at some point and just write out some ideas so I'm not always trying to think of it at the last minute. Because sometimes I'll come up with a really good idea and like I'll draw it like early instead of waiting until the day before it's supposed to go up. Make them fight God language. Oh, the heckin' that one meme about start of a webcomic. We're silly, goofy friends. Whatever. Yeah, that might be an idea. I'll just like sit down, look at these characters, think about what I can do with them, what sort of jokes I can make, and like come up with a list instead of just waiting until it's time for me to draw one and then being like, what do I do? Is there anything else I needed to talk about? Oh, I just realized one of my heckin' foam panels on the wall fell off like 2 weeks ago, I think. I still haven't put it back up. Let me do that now. Oh, it's got all the fibers from the carpet on it. Or the rug. Not the carpet. My apartment doesn't have carpet. Let's see how long it holds. I probably need to replace the things holding it up. There we go. Man, I've been saying it for like a long time now. I don't know how long. I really wanted to redo my model. I just haven't found the time for it. I'm doing too much at once. But oh well. As I said, as much as I do want to like be like, oh yeah, I'll stream anyway, I am still very sleepy. I've mentioned it to some of my work colleagues before, but like, yeah, one late night screws me up for like an entire week. Because I just don't sleep well enough to recover from it. Pokemon Sleep says I'm like sleeping well, but it doesn't feel like it. I still wake up feeling tired, even if it says, hey, you slept like 7-ish hours. Doesn't know what it's talking about. See, here's the thing. Be like me, just don't sleep. No. No, Theo. Here's the thing, right? Pokemon Sleep, it doesn't really rank you on the quality of your sleep. It tells you roughly how well you slept, but it only really ranks you on how long you slept. And if you woke up in the middle of the night and then tried to get back to sleep without telling Pokemon Sleep, hey, end this sleep session and start a new one, then it thinks you slept through the entire time, even if you did wake up during part of it. Sleep is super nuanced, not just the amount, yeah. Well, I'm glad you did fix your sleep schedule, apparently. I haven't seen any... Man, I remember when it was still like early days. I remember like before I even set up my little office here, I'd be like working from home, and like it'd be getting towards the end of the day, and like I'd see in Discord like you and Miko still in the voice chat. Like, what are you doing there? And then I'd just post a screenshot of like, what time is it in Canada right now? Man. I do feel like here's the thing. I am incredibly introverted and like anxious around people, but I do feel like I need to, you know, connect more with my friends. Cause like we chat in like Twitch chat and like on Twitter and occasionally send memes in Discord, but like I don't really talk to my friends all that much as like, you know, actual legitimate conversation. I don't know. A lot recently it's just sort of been like, oh, there's a voice chat happening. I'm tired, or I'm not in the mood, or and I just don't. It is so rare for me to join those. It's partially just like I'm a bit set in my ways, I guess. So like for example, if I need to draw like my like comic strip or whatnot, I'm not gonna like jump in a voice call and chat with friends or whatnot. I'm gonna have either a stream or a YouTube video open in the background. I'll be drawing, I'll be checking like Twitter every now and then, maybe doing my dailies on one of my mobile games. Meanwhile, if I'm in a voice call trying to socialize, I feel like that should be my focus, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I am not a social creature. I said it on Twitter, I'm like a cat, but instead of bringing you dead mice, I bring you dead memes. That's how I show my affection. Dead memes are great though, right? Oh, of course, now the sun's fucking out. I hung my washing indoors because, like, it was raining this morning and the sky was super heckin' grey. And I'm like, yeah, even if I hang it outside, it's probably not gonna get dry. I might as well just hang it inside. Now the sun's super heckin' bright. So probably after the stream, I'll just, like, grab my shit and put it outside. Man, I should have just gone like, yeah, it's not raining now, just put it outside. But I didn't, with how grey the sky was, I didn't think that the sun was gonna come out. Winter's definitely on its way. I've actually, you know, had to wear more than a t-shirt around the house. I've got my hoodie on. This hoodie is great, honestly. Wish winter's here. Like, it's actually warm. It fits well enough. It's not like too big or too small. I am just averse to buying clothes because everything seems so expensive. It's mid-April, 7 degrees. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, yeah, Canada, but still, Jesus Christ. Wait, do you guys use Fahrenheit or Celsius? I know America uses Fahrenheit. I don't know what Canada uses. Is America the only country that uses Fahrenheit? I don't know. See, the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius is actually kind of interesting. Because, like... Celsius and Canada, okay. Celsius is like 0 to 100 based on, like, water. Whereas Fahrenheit is more so based around how it affects humans. And then Kelvin is how it affects particles. So, you know. They have their uses, I guess. But I guess people just got used to Celsius and now America's the weird ones for using Fahrenheit. Even though it's probably a more useful temperature range for... like day-to-day use on like weather and such. I don't know. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk about, or should I just pull out a game or some shit? Because we've been going for about an hour. Surprisingly. I would just like do the... Because my first real like just chatting stream was like when I got back from visiting my parents for Christmas, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna talk about like what happened over Christmas, and then I'm just gonna pull out all my heckin' bootleg Pokemon and talk about them. We only got through about half of the Pokedex. I never got through the other half. I was like, oh yeah, we'll do those later. And then later never came. So I would pull those out right now, but I don't have them on my PC. They're on my laptop. I could just show them on DeviantArt, but I don't want to. I don't want to give DeviantArt more exposure. Don't want to show them more support. They've been shilling AI crap. Here's the thing. I work in IT, right? So I understand that AI has a lot of legitimate uses. But in creative fields, I'm like, fuck off. This is bullshit. I hate you. Go away. Why are you still here? Like, to an extent, I can sort of sympathize with people being like, oh, I can't draw. Because, like, I mean, look at my model. To say that I can't, quote-unquote, can draw, I mean, it's accurate, but it does feel like a little bit of a stretch. But still, like, if you really want an image, just fucking commission someone. Like, bro. Also, the fact that some of them call themselves artists, like, oh, I'm an AI artist. No, you're a fucking AI commissioner. How is, like, giving a prompt to a computer to spit out an image, how does that make you an artist compared to someone who, like, you know, pays an actual artist to do it for them? You're not making the art, if you can even consider it art. The computer's the artist in this scenario. You're just the person making a request. Model is great though. I feel like there's a lot that I would probably change. So they're done pro AI art and break the pencil. And then they like, yeah, break the pencil. Look at this image I made to break the pen, to promote break the pencil, and it's like fucking mangled because AI art doesn't know what it's doing. Like there was one with like SpongeBob, and he's like breaking a pencil in half, but like the inside part has the sharpened pencil, and like all the pieces breaking off are like little pencils, and and someone had it like, it's a bunch of different characters, but then like the further back you go, they just like, their faces are just melting. Like, fuck off with that shit. Yeah, with regards to my model, for like what I would change, besides just the general art style, because like I don't really use this style all that much. This isn't really how I draw. Like thin lines, like softer shading. I don't really do that. This was just like what I was trying out at the time when I made my model. It's not normally how I draw. So, like, if I redid my model, I would do it more in my usual style. Even if my usual style's maybe a bit flatter. Like, it's more me. But, like, the heckin' super exaggerated eye bags, I don't know. Like, when I close my eyes, there's just this huge dark circle. I don't know if I would do that. Also, the rigging on the eyes, where it's like, you can very clearly see that the top eyelid is just sort of like flipping. And if I hold it at just the right point, they like disappear. Maybe don't make your new model look tired, but it's part of my identity. I am tired all the time. Obviously, I would want to separate the internals of the mouth from the lips, so you know, you don't see my tongue and teeth stretching like this. Also, I would very much want to like simplify the hair a bit, because like every time I have to draw my model, I find myself complaining about like, why do I have like 3 separate colors of blue? Why do I have these blurred stars? Why did I make it this complicated? Straight up, when I did that little thing when I was drawing my friends as like characters within my multiverse, I was like, I don't really do like smooth gradient transitions between colors because it's annoying to draw when you have to draw a character multiple times. And then I went and fucking did it on my model. You ever wonder why I don't have many emotes? It's because it's annoying. It's annoying having to like do all the gradients and the blurs and all that shit. Oh, also the heckin' symbol on the skirt. I'd need to change that because it's not part of another code anymore. They changed her design. So now it just looks like a random flower pattern. Oh, also, I'd want to change the colors a bit. Like the heckin', if I go out a bit so you can see, look at this. The colors here, like bright blue, bright green, bright red. This does not go together. And also my skin is just like super heckin' washed out. You wanna know why my skin looks like this? Because it originally started as like me drawing myself, like the image that I based this off before I like made it all starry and whatnot. It was based on like heckin' me drawing myself in the Danganronpa art style. And Danganronpa's skin tones are often like very, very grayish and washed out. So that's why my skin looks like this. And like, yeah, I am kind of pale, but not like looking half dead. So I'd probably want to change that a bit. Make it closer to how I usually draw pale skin and not grayish. Honestly, I never gave it much thought. I'll see if I can find the original image that I based it on. I think I still have it uploaded somewhere. Da, da, da. If I were, I would think it's just because you're tired. There it is. Da da da. So before I converted it more into my own style and made it all stars and shit, this is what it looked like. Ta-da! So you can see where a lot of this stuff came from, right? I changed the jacket because I thought like, oh yeah, this looks better, but no. Like the skirt was originally this color, but like I changed it to be brighter because I'm like, oh yeah, like but this isn't Danganronpa anymore. I'm going for a brighter color palette or whatever. But then I didn't brighten the skin tone, so you know, looks like a fighting game with a two-player card. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd change up the design a bit, cause like the jacket, at least the one she's wearing over there, that's based on an actual jacket that I own. That I like. It's my one good jacket that I wear to work all the time during winter. During summer, I don't. Based in Modern Kenosha. I don't know. I guess I'd need to think about it. Maybe that's something I can do on stream, just sort of brainstorming and like sketching and whatnot. And then I like do the actual drawing off stream. Who knows? Who knows? Like 2.0 sounds exciting though. I think if I did do one, I'd want to like make a more reusable base so that I can like make alternate outfits and whatnot. Also potentially find a better, you know, someone who's better at rigging instead of like trying to rig it myself. Potentially. I say potentially because that would mean I would have to speak to someone, and speaking to people is anxiety inducing. I mean that's part of why I do everything myself. Like part of it is that I take pride in the fact that like, oh, I managed to do all this without any help. And like it's also like, oh, sure, I could get someone else to do it, but if I do it myself, then, you know, that's a learning experience. That's whatever. But it's also just like, oh, I don't want to have to speak to people. I don't want to have to like work with someone else. I could talk to the artist for you. You're not my manager, Theo. You don't have to do that. Could be. I don't earn enough to pay you for that. I mean, I probably do actually, but there are other things I could be spending on. I don't earn enough from Twitch to pay you for that, is what I should be saying. My services are free. No. No, even if it's a friend, I'm not having y'all do things for me for free. I mean, technically you mod for me for free, but also there's like no one in chat that you need to moderate, so. Oh, y'all remember on Twitter, I made a heckin' media thread, like, I think, did I start doing it last year? I think I started doing it the year before. Where I was like, oh yeah, here's all the games I've beaten this year. And so I put all of them in the list. This year it was like Detective Pikachu and the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC epilogue. And that was it. That was all that was in the thing. In the thread. Yesterday, I finally added something else to the thread, because I finished the villain arc in Pokemon Masters. Is finishing Lego sets count? I don't think so. I don't think Lego counts as media. They're toys. Yeah. I will say, it isn't a very... It isn't... Like, it's very much a gacha story. But... the villain arc is infinitely more interesting than the PML arc was. I stopped playing during the PML arc because I got bored. But now I'm like, oh yeah, let's keep going. I want to see what happens. But now that arc's finished and we're on the Mysterious Stones arc, but updates for that have been slow. But I am glad that I decided to give the game another go. Solely because they added INO to the game. She is the one unit I've invested like everything into. What am I working on outside of stream stuff? I was for a while thinking about trying to get my Smash Bros. Trading card game going again. But I don't think I ever figured out, like... There was, like, one... I was, like, thinking about, like, how I would revamp the gameplay. And, like, I got something that I was happy with, and then I realized, wait, this completely invalidates, like, a certain type of card. And one of those cards is a Cannon Spirit that I can't just leave out. So I was like, huh, that's not gonna work. And then I sort of forgot about it because I started thinking about other things. I've got like way too much going on in my mind at any one time. But like now I can do rambling streams to just be like, this is what I've been thinking of lately. How have I been like talking nonsense for over an hour now? Is there anything else? Anything else I can talk about? Rambling streams are cathartic. Here's the thing about streaming during the morning. My nose is always a heckin' mess during the morning. Well, like I won't go into details, but it is mess. It is a mess. Not a literal physical mess, more like messed up. I don't know. Words. Words. I've considered, like, at points where I was still thinking about like viewership and whatnot. I was thinking like, oh, what if I tried streaming at other times? Because I always stream at this time, and like the only person who is available at this time is you. Like Miko streams during this time, so he's busy. Yuri and Raya are asleep at this time, if they're not staying up super late. Or they are also streaming if they are staying up late. And it's just like, no one's here. Everyone else is busy. But like, the thing is, right, the reason I stream in the morning is because then like I have a very solid cutoff date, cutoff time of like, oh, it's midday, it's time to stop, I've got other things to do. Meanwhile, if I stream in the afternoon, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know. It just uproots my entire routine, right? I don't know. I was talking there and being like, oh yeah, because if I stream in the afternoon, that messes things up. I'm like, how does it mess things up though? I could just stop at around the time where, oh wait, no, I got it. Because like, I have that cutoff point of like 12, but I can go a little longer if I'm like in the middle of something. Meanwhile, if I stream in the afternoon, if I go a little longer, then like I'm like that's when I would be cooking dinner. That's the time it's cutting into now. So I would be having a late dinner. Which, you know, let her cook. When I went up to visit my dad over Christmas, so like my parents live on like a small farm essentially. They refer to it as a hobby farm because it's not really like proper like farming, but we do have some animals. My dad has like, he's been taking care of the sheep, but they've had so many kids that like, he's like, you know, he's been butchering the lambs and whatnot. So when I came home from Christmas, my freezer is now just like full of lamb. And I'm just like, I don't have room for like anything else in here. I'm like, okay, well that has to go in the fridge because I can't fit it in the freezer. I don't know. Just talking about cooking reminded me of that. I have mentioned it on Twitter, but tomorrow, I'll probably mention it at the end of the stream as well, but tomorrow, the reason we're not getting back to like regular gaming is because we're going to do the Teppen, the thing that I mentioned back in January, the Teppen lore stream. Where I just ramble about like, hey, this is what Teppen lore is, except I don't know shit about Capcom games and I'm just going off of what I remember from the game. Mentioned it that long ago? I think so, yeah. Because it was when I started playing Mega Man. Because I was like, yeah, the reason I'm playing Mega Man is because it showed up in Teppen, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to learn a bit more about it, so let's play the actual game. And then at some point during, like, I kept bringing up like, oh, this was in the set, and then I'd like show off some of the cards and whatnot. And then at some point I was like, maybe I should just do a stream. Oh, that's what it was. I talked about how Mega Man fit into the world of Teppen. And I was talking about like, oh, the Mega Man X is like this super ancient civilization, and Mega Man Battle Network are actually descendants of that civilization or whatnot. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just do a stream where I talk about the lore of Teppen. And I was planning to do that like right before I left to go, you know, back to work and whatnot. But then I was like, no, it's taking a bit too long. We'll leave it for another time. And then I like slowly made progress on it until eventually I got to a point where I'm like, okay, the next set should be releasing soonish. We'll wait for that one to come out so I can add it to the stream, and then we'll actually do it. So then last weekend I was like exhausted after having a late night on Friday. So I was like, you know what? Instead of streaming, I'll finish the PowerPoint today, and then we can do the Teppen lore stream next weekend. And that's what we're doing. I will preface it. I'm going to title it like, you know, Teppen lore explained by a Capcom noob, because there's going to be a fair few points in there where I'm like, I don't know shit about this. I haven't looked into this. This is just what's in Teppen. I assume this is what it's like in the original game, but oh well. Yeah, a lot. As much as I have been enjoying Teppen, a lot of Capcom stuff is just like, yeah, that's not my jam. Resident Evil, no. Street Fighter, no. Street Fighter, like, I find the lore interesting, but I'm definitely not a fighting game player. Mega Man, I've been interested in Battle Network. Not so much in the main series. I once tried to play, like, one of... I think it was the original Mega Man. No. I think Battle Network works better for me because it's more like an RPG. Yeah, for me, the whole reason I started playing... I think the reason I got interested in Tekken was because it was like, oh, hey, they got fucking Okami and Ace Attorney in there. And then I just happened to join at around the time they were having, like, the new set was, like, Ace Attorney themed. And I'm like, perfect. Perfect timing. Give me all that. That set is unfortunately out of the legal rotation now. So I can't use that in my ranked deck. Which is a shame because my strategy with that deck was absolute nonsense and I would have loved to show that off. Speaking of, I still haven't gotten... I still haven't figured out, like, what's going on with Tekken on PC yet. I know it's on a thing called Google Play Games. I don't know what the fuck Google Play Games is. Like, they couldn't just put it on fucking Steam or something? I don't know, would have made things easier. I don't know, maybe I'll stream Tekken at some point. My new decks, like, it doesn't have as much cheesy bullshit in it, but it's been working out pretty well for me. Unfortunately, I think one of those cards, maybe, oh no, at least two of them are going to have to come out of the deck when this season ends. Because they have like a rotating thing where, like, only the 6 most recent sets can be used in legal play, plus any cards from, like, the base core set. But, like, core cards aren't as strong as, you know, stuff from the newer packs because, you know, power creep. That's how these games work. I've played mobile games for long enough to know a thing or two about power creep. Oh, but whenever there's a new banner for Fire Emblem Heroes, everyone's just talking about, like, what the fuck is this game anymore? What is this balance? And meanwhile, I'm just like, hey, look, cool character. One of my favorite characters finally got added to the game recently. I've been voting for her in Fire Emblem Heroes Choose Your Legends for heckin' 7 years now, I think? 8? Question mark? 7. 8? I don't know. I've been voting for her since the very start, and she finally got added to the game. And I was fully prepared to dump all my orbs trying to get her. And then I got her on my second pull before I'd even spent any orbs. I was like, let's go! So I'm ready to train her up, but I've instead been, like, finishing off one of the other teams I was training. They require so much SP now to unlock all of their skills. Used to just be like, oh, get them to level 40, they'll have enough skill points to unlock all their skills. I got one of them to level 40, she still had like 1,100 points worth of skills that I need to unlock. Like, Jesus. But yeah. Now, who's my next most one that's not in the game yet? Because they already added Gilliam. I don't know, actually. Probably the fucking TMS characters. They did one banner for Tokyo Mirage Sessions to, like, promote the remake. Or... Not even remake, really, the port. The enhanced port on the Switch. And then they just never never did another banner for it. Even though all it would take is like one more banner to add all the playable characters from that game. And they just don't. And I assume it's because Atlas partially owns the rights to those characters. So they're like, we don't want to work with that. Let's just put in characters that we own the rights to. That's probably why we never got characters from the original Fire Emblem Warriors as well. Because like with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, at that point they were probably like, okay, this is explicitly tied to one of our games in particular. Let's negotiate it so that like we own all the designs and the characters in that game. And like they just have like partial ownership of the gameplay and whatnot. Because we've gotten 3 Hopes characters in Fire Emblem Heroes, but we haven't gotten any from the original Warriors. Oh, don't remind me. Heckin' Fire Emblem Cypher has not... I'm pretty sure Intelligent Systems owns that completely, but they just don't want to acknowledge it. Like, put them in the game. Where are they? They killed off Cypher because they're like, Fire Emblem Heroes already fills the niche that Cypher did. But then the Cypher characters have just been lost to the ether. Doubly so now that not only has the eShop died, but Nintendo 3DS Online has died. So you can't even get the DLC for Echoes that had the Cypher characters in it. Sag. Speaking of trading card games, though, recently Hololive announced that they're making a trading card game. I'm interested in that. I don't know what it's all going to be about. I don't know if they're even going to release it in English, but I'm interested. I do like trading card games. Like, I don't play a lot of them because I don't even buy trading cards. I just sort of admire them from afar. It's more the concept. You know, TCG the concept versus TCG the game. I just like the idea of them, I guess. I just buy cards for the art. That's probably what I would do. Because, like, I mean, I don't really have any IRL friends I'd be able to play with, you know? Even if I did find, like, a game that I was like, okay, yeah, I know enough about this that I can play it. It's still just sort of like, okay, who would I actually play with? I still haven't opened the fucking Fire Emblem board game that I bought however long it was ago. It's still just sitting there, still in the plastic wrap. I ordered the fucking expansion as well. That's gonna be coming at some point. Maybe I'll do like, once the expansion comes, maybe I'll do a fucking unboxing stream where I'm like, okay, let's finally open this up and take a look at everything. Just pawn it once it becomes a collector's item? No, that's rude. Hey, Miko, welcome. Thank you for the raid. God, it's been so long since I've been raided. I've forgotten what I'm supposed to say. I can raid you. That is wild. Normally it's the other way around. What's the... Thank you for the follow, Kara. How do I... God, I've forgotten how the shout-out command works. You're playing... I think I saw it was Hollow Knight, right? Okay, thank you, Theo. I'll do the other one as well. Oh. You've got it all covered, thank you. Hollow Knight, nice. It's over so fast, oh man. Welcome Raiders, hello. It hurt on y'all. Welcome Raiders, my name is Melody. today's stream was just supposed to be me rambling about what my plans are going forward with my channel. And then I was going to play something else, but instead I've just sort of kept on rambling about random stuff. So for those who didn't catch the opening, my plans at the moment is I want to do more rambling stuff, and like maybe a bit less gaming. And then also my gaming streams are going to be focusing on like one particular game instead of trying to jump around between a whole bunch of different ones. Because that's just how I normally play games. I don't do all this jumping around stuff. But yes. Before you came in, we were talking about trading card games, I think. More ramblings, yes. Speaking of, tomorrow we're doing a I will be doing another sort of rambly-ish stream where I try to explain the lore of Tekken. Yes, the Capcom crossover card game where I try to explain all the lore despite being wholly unfamiliar with a vast majority of Capcom franchises. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I mentioned it back in January and I'm finally getting around to doing it. I only know it because your tweets, yeah. I'm spreading the good word. It is, for anyone that's interested, it is available on PC now if you know how to use Google Play Games, which I don't. But if you know how to use that, it's apparently available on PC now. Otherwise, iOS and Android. And this has become an actual ad. What the fuck? Oh, man. Yeah, I am looking forward to that. Just like trying to explain what the fuck all this is. Because add time and melody. If you would like an ad spot, go to someone else. I don't know how to do this shit. Hashtag not sponsored. But yeah. I was in the middle of, oh yeah, I was talking about the Heckin board game. I have a Fire Emblem board game just sitting on my shelf, hiding behind my Pomni plushie that I still haven't opened yet. I'm not. I think, yeah. Before Miko raided, Theo said like, "Hey, pawn it off when it becomes a collector's item." I'm not gonna do that. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I don't like, yeah, money is nice, but also I don't really like the idea of buying things just to resell them later. I feel like I get that for some people it's like, oh, that's you know, it's a business, it's investing. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Bro, if you're gonna buy something, buy it because you actually want it. Like, all my amiibo are out of the box. I have no intention of reselling them. Found out that about myself after buying a few animal figures to say I don't have enough room for nothing. Bruh. Yeah, because I've gotten into Lego lately, like there's been a bunch of like Lego stuff I've seen on YouTube. I have learned about Lego investing, and I'm like, this is like, bruh. If you want to be a reseller, sure. Like the reason I have a Lego Bramble right now is because of a reseller. So I'm grateful for that. But like people who just buy up a bunch of shit and then like sit on it so that they can sell it when it becomes more valuable, it's like, bruh. Lame as shit. Thankfully, a lot of that in particular seems to be like related to stuff that I don't really care about. So, you know, no one's doing Lego investing with fucking Lego Mario. People who bought all those PS4. I remember that. Someone bought like a shitload and then like Sony was like, oh, we sold out. Don't worry, we're making more. And then like, no, quickly buy ours before Sony makes more. And then I think like one of them just got like fucking robbed. Like someone like broke into their house, stole all the PS5s, and then like sold them for cheaper than the scalper was doing. Something like that. Was that the PS5 or was that something else? I feel like I remember hearing about that. Should invest less on random things. I invest in happiness. Like, I could put my money in, like, fucking stocks or, like, buying things to resell. No, I just buy things that make me happy. Money well spent? Hell yeah. Like, sure, could the fucking shelf of plushies behind me that I am gesturing to, even though you cannot fucking see it, could the money spent on that have gone to something better? Something that could make me more money in the future? Sure. But then I wouldn't have a shelf of HoloLive plushies, would I? They make you happy? Heck yeah. That's another thing I want to do. When I was thinking about like making a new model, right? I was thinking I wanted to do like full-on new everything to go with it. Part of this was like the heckin' like the new BGM. That was part of it, but I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll replace that when I like do my new model, but then I never did it. So this year I was just like, fuck it. Give me some less. Yeah, give me some more upbeat sounding music. I want to replace it. So that came early. New year, new music. Like, I wanted to do new everything, so instead of having this vague-ass space background, I wanted to, like, try and draw, like, my actual room with, like, my shelf of shit behind me, except maybe instead of, like, just a random load of HoloLive plushies, maybe make it stuff that's, like, relevant to my stream. And I was gonna redo this, like, shitty-ass chat box. Then, like, what else do I have? Oh, loading screens. I wanted to do, like, a heckin' lore video, because my old lore video was shit. Nobody look at my old lore video. It's garbage. Thank you for the redeems, Miko. Just in general, like, essentially do, like, a full-on 2.0. But, like, I never got around to that because, like, that takes a lot of time and I don't have that much time to invest. Cause, like, what all am I working on? I've obviously, I stream twice a week. I have to get back to my novel again. I stopped doing that because I was too exhausted, but I think I'm okay now. I'm working on a video game in RPG Maker. For a while I was thinking maybe like going back to my trading card game, but like that's sort of fallen to the wayside. And then I have song covers I need to work on. There's so much happening all the time. So, like, could I get, like, a new model if I, you know, paid someone else to do it instead of drawing it myself? Sure. But then, I don't know. I feel like it's part of my identity at this point that I just do everything myself instead of getting other people to do it for me. But, like, I did mention on Twitter, it's like, I take pride in the fact that I've, like, managed to do everything myself, but also, anyone who just randomly pops into stream isn't gonna care about, like, how much effort I put in. They're just gonna see it like, man, that looks like shit, I'm gonna watch something else. Which, I mean, fair. Maybe I should stop shitting on myself like that. But yeah. What else is there to talk about? Because at this point I feel like we've gone on long enough that if I started a game, it's like, we're like almost 2 hours into the stream. I'm probably gonna have to rename the VOD to be like, no, yeah, there is no game here. Oh, there is no game is like such a heckin'... There is no game is a really cool game, but unfortunately I can't stream that because I already know everything that happens in it. And like, that's part of the fun of it. Experiencing it for the first time. I remember the first time I saw the heckin' there is no game. It's like, I ended up staying up late to watch the stream that, like, was playing it, because, like, maybe games, so it's okay. Yeah. I ended up staying up late to watch the stream that was, like, playing it, because I was so invested at that point. Also need foods? No worries, Miko. I hope you enjoy your foods. I'm still sort of tired. What else has been happening lately? Like, there's work. There's work. I don't really do much. Like, you hear about all my projects, and you hear about me complaining about work. That's basically all you need to know about my life. That's all that happens. I've just been completely exhausted lately. I feel like a thought just crossed my mind that I was like, oh yeah, let me talk about that, and then it disappeared as soon as I thought about it, and now it's gone. And now I don't know. Oh, heckin' the new Endless Ocean game's coming out next month. I think they put out like an overview trailer or something about it. I still haven't seen that. I should probably watch that after stream, because I am considering getting that game. Just as like a chill... Words! Isn't that the one with the crab? Are you thinking about the... No, that different one. Different. Endless Ocean is like marine biology and like underwater photography. Players like a heckin' ocean researcher or whatever. At least that's how it was in the previous games. I don't know about the new one. It was on the Wii, and then it was dormant for several years, and now all of a sudden it's back. And I don't... For some reason it was announced in an Indie World presentation, despite the fact that, as far as I was aware, Nintendo owns the franchise, so it's not really an indie game. I don't know, maybe the devs bought it back from Nintendo and they're like, yep, this is ours now. Actually, have they announced who's working on it yet? Endless Ocean Luminous. Is there a Wikipedia page? Small indie company Nintendo. Yeah, it's published by Nintendo. What the fuck? Why was it in an indie world? Also, the developer. Are these the guys who developed the first one? Or is this... Oh yeah. So these guys came back to Nintendo going like, yeah, hey, we want to make a new one of these, I guess. I will say, I do like how like a bunch of old Nintendo franchises have been resurfacing lately. Like Famicom Detective Club came back, Another Code, absolutely wild, it came back. Endless Ocean came back. Advance Wars had a bit of a rocky return, but it came back. Still, I was thinking about getting the Advance Wars remake, but then I just didn't because, like... Here's the thing, right? I have so many games that I need to finish, and earlier in the stream before Miko raided, I went through 3 games that I was just sitting on my shelf, completely unplayed, one of them still in the plastic wrap. Like, I feel like I don't really need to be buying new games right now. Unless it's something that I'm, like, really hyped for. Like I was with Another Code. Saving it for later. Saving it when I have more time, I guess. Which is, never. But, I don't know. Hopefully with my new strategy for, like, getting through these games, we might be able to actually finish some instead of just constantly going, I'm tired, I don't want to play this. Copus, you're a game collector? If I'm a game collector, I'm a pretty shit game collector. I do have a couple of N64 cartridges. I don't know if they still work or not, but... That's the most collector I am. There's a couple of old things sitting around. What games do I actually have from N64? Hold on, I'm gonna get my cartridges. I want to see what games I still have. I have 6 Nintendo 64 cartridges. I'm getting dust all over the desk. I have Snowboard Kids, Diddy Kong Racing, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, Pokemon Stadium, Donkey Kong 64, and Super Mario 64. Which is interesting, because I could have sworn I owned Mario Kart 64. Maybe I just rented it. Because I know at some point we rented Banjo-Kazooie. And Pokemon Snap, we definitely rented that. Either that or I played it at a friend's place. One or the other. Mario Kart 64 was all a dream. I don't know, either I rented it or maybe we gave it away at some point after I... Because, like, I still have the cartridges, but I don't have the 64 anymore. I don't know what happened to that. Either we gave it away when we got, like, an Xbox or something, or... I don't know, maybe it just broke at some point. But yeah, random assortment of 64 games. You know, me running back and forth is just making me thinking about the fact, and like talking about old games, make me think about the fact that my Wii U is still in my bedroom instead of my office, and as a result, I cannot really stream Wii U games at the moment. Which also means I can't stream Wii games or any virtual console games. Which, like, is fine. I have enough games that I can stream right now, but, like, there are games on that console that I would have liked to stream at some point. But, like, I don't want to have to try and cart everything over here. It's like, bruh. I just... In the, like, mid-paragraph, my brain just shut down. Oh, fun fact, fucking... I made a tweet at some point. Like, it was early on, I didn't get much sleep. And so I just tweeted out, I can feel my brain going Windows shutdown noise. Windows XP shutdown noise. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And the fucking official Windows Twitter account replied to me. Going like, that's when you know it's time for a break. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Excuse me? And then I didn't tweet about it. Something similar happened again. I was talking about Windows 11. Being like, if there's one thing that I'll give Windows 11, one thing that I'll say I like, I do like that when you press the print screen button, it just opens up Snipping Tool instead of taking a snapshot of your entire desktop. That's good. That's a good change. And someone who works at Windows, someone who works at Microsoft replied to that saying like, oh, thank you, or something like that. Hold on, let me find exactly what they said. But like, it's like, how does it happen twice? Windows 11. They're watching you. Oh, nothing? Did I? Oh, I said Window 11 instead of Windows. There it is. The first fucking tweet that comes up when I search from Melody Sea Turtle Windows 11. The first tweet that pops up is, I am just now experiencing Windows 11 for the first time and I already hate it. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone who works on the Windows engineering team. They posted like a gif of someone being like, yes! I was like, okay. How the fuck did you find this tweet? Are you just like searching Windows 11 to see what people are saying about it? It's like a streamer heckin', what's it called? Ego surfing. I don't know if that's the term in English, but that's the term in Japanese, I'm pretty sure. Like searching their name to see what people are saying about them. Except instead of a streamer, it's a fucking Windows engineer. Looking for keywords or something, yeah. Yeah, my home laptop and my home PC, they're both on... and even my work laptop from like my actual employer, the company I work for, or the company I'm employed by, it's all Windows 11. But then my heckin' laptop for the place that I'm currently contracted to, that like my employer has a contract with, that laptop is still on Windows 10. So occasionally I'll just like mix things up and like I'll press the print screen button. It's like, oh wait, that doesn't work. Oh, I need to open Snipping Tool. That's the thing, right? And that's why it's like one of the few changes that I'm particularly happy with, because like there are very few times when you need like a snapshot of your entire desktop. But there are a lot of times where you might want to just capture a very small part of it. That's why it's a good change. I'm still just sort of a bit out of it. I'm not getting enough sleep. Or maybe I'm getting enough sleep, but it's not high quality sleep. I don't know. Maybe... I've been using this mattress, like, since I moved, like, to the country, which... How long would that be now? Maybe nine-ish? 8, 9 years? Maybe I need a new mattress. This one's probably worn down by now. I don't know. I'm just looking at the sky, saying like, is it gonna rain again? Because it was real bright before, but now the clouds are back. So maybe I'll just leave my laundry inside after all. Oh, I just had an idea. I don't know the punchline yet, but I have an idea for this week's comic strip. Incredibly meta, but, you know, when have I ever not been incredibly meta with that strip? I'm not gonna say it, because I'm gonna draw it after the stream. But, you know. So, like... What games have I been playing lately? So, like, obviously, Another Code is priority. Like, what... After this weekend, when I get back to gaming streams, it's gonna be Another Code. all the time, all day, all the time, until I finish it. Not all day, obviously, I just couldn't figure out the right way to say it. But then, like, what else do we have? We have Xenoblade, we have Mega Man, we have Ace Attorney. We have Path of the Midnight Sun that I streamed like twice and then just stopped because I got distracted by other things. Is that all I've got going at the moment? I say all as if that's not like 4 long-ass games. Like, sounds manageable. I could probably... Like, how far did we get in Mega Man? I don't know how long Mega Man is actually, so I guess that... It's not really telling me much. Yeah, I don't know... I guess it'll depend on like what I'm in the mood for. I might not even do any of those games and I'll just pick up something different. We do have that new Pokemon game coming next year. Whenever that comes out, that'll be all I stream. Accidentally becomes a variety streamer again. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know what the fuck variety streamer means anymore. I will, like, I guess I'm streaming a variety of things, but like, one game at a time. Aside from maybe like short one-offs or whatever, but like in terms of this bigger stuff, I want to focus on one thing just so I can get through it. Cause like that's just how I used to play games before I started streaming. So I feel like that's what's probably gonna work for me. I do still, admittedly, I do still have like fucking one more series of like those hidden object games that I haven't played yet. And it's the longest of the series. Instead of like 1 or 2 games, there's like 5 in the series that I got. So I don't know. If at any point I'm like, I want a game that I can finish in one day, I'll just pull one of those out again. Because, you know, those are fun, right? A bit dated, but fun. Oh, heck. There's this YouTuber I've been watching that, his goal is to review every game on Steam in alphabetical order, which is absolute wild goal. But very cool concept for a YouTube channel. His most recent one, he reviewed a hidden object game. And like for the most part, he's like, yeah, it's a bit dated, but it's all right. Like some of these hidden objects are like fucking impossible to see. But like one of the things he described, he was like, okay, so this puzzle, this makes perfect logical sense. You get this, you use it on this, and it's all good. And then he described one of the most obtuse puzzles I have ever seen in one of these games, where he's like, okay, so you would think, right, there's all these like vines blocking the door. You'd cut them with the shears or the knife, or maybe you'd even burn them with the matches. No, you gotta collect. You gotta soak a rag in oil, put the oil rag next to the vines on a like pile of trash or whatever. Collect a bunch of mirrors. Oh wait, not collect a bunch of mirrors. Use a tool to cut a circular part out of a bunch of mirrors around town. Take them up to like the top of a lighthouse. Slot all the mirrors into the lighthouse so that you can focus the light beam at the oil rag, and I think maybe even use the match to like light the lighthouse in the first place. And it's like, if you're gonna do all that, why not just use the fucking match in the first place? That's like absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, oh yeah, like new hidden object game. Maybe I'll give that a try. But then he described that, and I'm like, maybe not actually. I will say, I feel like I need a couple more like casual games that I can just play off stream, and they're not like a particularly large investment. Because what I used to do, right, when I wanted to like play something just to sort of like, I don't know, fill the gap. You remember the old hidden object games I played before I started doing the Artifacts Mundi stuff? The stuff from Spin Top Games where it's just hidden object and nothing else? My casual off streamers beat you up 3, nice. So those games, when you complete them, if you get all of the extra stuff, like the locks or the gems, depending on which game it is, you unlock a special thing called the Ultimate Seek and Find, or whatever I think it's called, which is basically just like they plop you in one of the hidden object scenes and get you to find every single hidden object in it. And that was sort of what I did as like my off-stream gaming, because I don't know, it's just a fun, mindless thing or whatever. But I finished all 3 of those that I own, so now I can't do that anymore. So instead recently I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Masters. But like, I've finished all the story content, and now I'm just on like the actual difficult like battle stuff, and I'm like, this is huh. Oh, you know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't checked my heckin' outbreaks, see if I can find any shinies. I'm not gonna... should I put it on stream? No, I'm just gonna check off. I'm just gonna check here. If I find one that I, like, actually want to hunt, I might, like, show it up on the stream, and we'll just chat while I kill a bunch of wild Pokemon to see if we find any shinies. I recently found a couple shinies, but not in Pokemon Violet. I found them in fucking Pokemon Masters. I hatched a shiny Mankey, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, let me form a sync pair with this. I will train up this Mankey. This will be my new fighting type sync pair, shiny Primeape or whatever. And then, like, a couple days later, I checked my Pokemon Masters, like, okay, what's in this next egg? It's another fucking shiny Mankey. And you can only form one sync pair with each Pokemon. I can't have 2 shiny Mankey sync pairs. So now I just have a random shiny Mankey sitting in my box because I can't use him for anything. Alright, what outbreaks do we have? I have Swablu. Streamers not give us off stream though. Do I seriously only have one outbreak in the terrarium? How does that work? Oh no. Oh, that's actually kind of a good one. Still can't. That's a good one, but I would have to trust someone else to trade with me to evolve it. Do I want to hunt it right now? I don't know. Viper's kind of nice. Fucking Spoink. I don't even know what shiny Spoink looks like. Oh, fucking Tauros? Hell no. I am not hunting for Tauros. They... In, like, images and stuff, and, like, renders, it looks different, but if you, like, look at it in the in-game lighting, it's damn near impossible to tell the difference between regular Paldean Tauros and shiny Paldean Tauros. Okay, there's a couple here that, like, I might want to go for, but, like, not right now. I still have the heckin' demos of Peach and Pocket Card Jockey on my Switch. I should remove them. I like Pocket Card Jockey, but like I feel like it just doesn't really work on the Switch. It was definitely made with like the 3DS in mind. And the Switch's touchscreen just isn't. I don't know. I feel like it's supposed to feel like a heckin' phone touchscreen, but I feel like it's not as responsive. I don't know. Why does the Switch even have a touchscreen? I'll be perfectly honest. Like, it can only be used in handheld mode, really. Oh, is it? Is it raining? Or is that just wind? I don't know. I do appreciate the Switch's touchscreen because it allows me to play heckin' Clubhouse games with my mom. Because, like, she doesn't know how to work a controller. But at the same time, aside from that, like, one niche purpose... I keep forgetting it's touchscreen. Yeah. Aside from that one niche purpose, like, it doesn't really have a reason to have a touchscreen. Because, like, even just for, like, heckin' menu navigation and whatnot, like, a lot of games just sort of, like, forget that you can use the touchscreen, so they don't program the menu to respond to touch. Use it when typing? Yeah, that's a good use for it. Like, if I have it in handheld mode, then I will use, like, touch for the typing rather than the controller. But yeah. I have a heckin' Drawn to Life game on the Switch. I still haven't played it, but like I'm imagining that actually drawing stuff on the Switch touchscreen isn't going to be all that great. I feel like maybe they just included it because they're like, hey, we had a touchscreen on the DS, we had a touchscreen on the Wii U. If we don't have a touchscreen now, we're like going backwards. But like, I don't know. People keep talking about like Switch 2 rumors. It feels like every fucking week they're like, oh, they're gonna reveal the Switch 2. No, they're fucking not. They'll reveal it when they reveal it. Until then, it's just people trying to chase clout by saying like, oh, it's definitely gonna be revealed now, guys. It's coming. It's coming. Get touchscreen on the next Nintendo. See, that's one thing. I remember when talking about like franchises people wanted to come to the Switch, a lot of people were like, where's Nintendogs? Sorry, had to cough. Like, where's Nintendogs? Why isn't Nintendogs on the Switch? And I'm like, y'all realize Nintendogs relied heavily on the microphone, right? The Nintendo Switch doesn't have a microphone. Oh, I guess they did make a step back then. I actually never played Nintendogs. Oh. I played, I think the one I got was like an enhanced port of the original. Because like they did a couple different versions of Nintendogs with like different dog breeds. And then I think they came out with another one later that had more dog breeds in it. And that's the one I got, because it had Dalmatians in it. And I liked Dalmatians. I think I was like, oh, do I get the one with the golden retriever, or do I get the one with the Dalmatian? But then we looked at the list of like dog breeds you can get in there. I was like, oh, you can actually get golden retrievers in the Dalmatian one. Okay, I'll get that one then. Probably all perish. They don't die. Nintendogs don't die. You know what they need on the Switch? Where's Tomodachi Life? They made this great, like, enhanced Mii interface for Miitopia, and then didn't do anything with it. We got no more Mii games after that. Give me Tomodachi Life. let me play like this weird, stripped down version of The Sims with my Miis. Why are the Miis even still around? They got tucked off way to the side on the Switch, hidden away in some menu, and then barely any games use them. I like Miis, but I guess maybe they're like they're a bit too strongly associated with the Wii brand. And like after the failure of the Wii U, Nintendo was kind of trying to get away from that with the Switch. But like they still needed them there for some reason. Backwards compatibility maybe. Even though the Switch doesn't have backwards compatibility with any of the Wii U's library. Everything had to be ported. I hope that whatever the quote-unquote Switch 2 is, whatever Nintendo's next console is, I hope there's backwards compatibility. It'd just be nice, you know? Especially for like, heckin', I don't want to have to buy digital games again. Oh, and if they use the same heckin' Nintendo Switch Online emulator, that means we wouldn't have to go through the slow process of building up the NES library for like a third time. Like we slowly build it up with Virtual Console, and then they move to the Switch and like, oh no, we're not doing it with Virtual Console anymore. It's Nintendo Switch Online, NES. And then they slowly built up the library again. Hopefully they can just port that over to the Switch too, instead of having to build it up for a third time. What else? In my mind, I feel like there's more things I need to say, but I can't think of any of them. I think I'm reaching the point where like brain is die. Normally that happens like towards the end of the day at work, but like I don't know, maybe I'm just not used to speaking this much. I'm used to just having the game tell the narrative for me and then I can just react. I am surprised I managed to ramble for this much without a clear topic. Because like all my other rambling streams, like they've gone on for about this amount of time, but I've always had like a clear thing in mind where I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, and then I talk about that for that amount of time. Here I'm just sort of going from topic to topic and just, I don't know, talking. So fucking Zatsudan, that's what they call it, right? Free chat. Man. I've been watching some of the biggest streamers lately. So like sometimes, like I've mentioned this on a previous stream. I think it might have been my last stream before this actually. But like when I'm watching a smaller streamer, usually one of my friends, like I feel like I have to be actively engaging in it, and like I should be talking in chat and like, you know, supporting them and whatnot. But when there's like a bigger streamer, I can just like pop on the stream or pop on the VOD and just, like leave it in the background. I don't feel that pressure to be supportive or not, because like they've already got so many people supporting them. Oh, that was, hold on, do I already have it in my, did I already put it in my wish list or no? I watched someone playing through fucking Zoombinis. And I was like, oh, that feels like the kind of thing that I would play off stream. Okay, yeah, I do have it in my wish list. I'll get it at some point, probably. Zoombinis! I never played that one as a kid. One that I remember vividly, I'm pretty sure it was in Dutch. But it was like one of those old educational games, but I think it was like based on Pingu, I think. It was like that old, like classic 3D, like early days of 3D graphics kind of feel. But I don't remember shit about it. Besides that, I think there were mini games you could play. I don't know. Oh, and heckin', do I have that on my? Oh yeah, I do have it on my wish list. I got a notification that it was on sale. The heckin' HoloLive. I think they called it a tower defense, but it's not really. Heckin' Holo Parade or whatever it's called. I watched a bunch of streams about it when it came out. I'm like, interesting. But also it kind of feels like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's much going on here. But also it's pretty cheap, so like, who cares? Heard of it, but haven't really watched or played, yeah. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to say, or should I just close off? Because like, going for like almost 2.5 hours, that's pretty decent for someone who normally doesn't talk all that much. Right. Oh, heckin'. Well, I've been thinking, like, obviously I've been thinking about, like, potential rambling streams and stuff, because, like, you know, I want to do more of that. I remembered one of the rambling streams I had the most fun with was the heckin' multiverse mapping thing. I still have the image of that saved, and, like, I kind of wanted to go back and do something like that again, but the problem is, it's such a fucking mess, and I was like, oh, I need some sort of like graphing software or something so that I can put this in a more neat way. And I remembered some like program that I used in like high school for that sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, that would be perfect, but I don't know what it was called. Can't find it. And I can't really find something that I feel would be good for this sort of thing. So for now, it's just sort of sitting in the void. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about with this multiverse mapping thing, I'm talking about this. Oh, that is a big image. Ta-da! This is where I tried to connect everything via crossovers. It was a fun stream. But as you can see, it's an absolute mess, and trying to add more to it now would just make it even more of a mess, so I need to find another way to represent it. Another code sitting in the corner. It's relevant again, but also it doesn't cross over with anything besides Hotel Dusk. Anyway. Did I put heckin'... Did I put it on there? I don't think I did. Oh, I put Vocaloid on there. I was thinking, is HoloLive on here? Because I know HoloLive has crossed over with some stuff that is on here. But I don't think I did. NASCAR's on there. Because of fucking Sonic and All-Stars. I feel like some... Okay, well, I know something Sonic did get announced recently. The fucking Keanu Reeves getting cast as Shadow in the Sonic movie. I feel like some Sonic game got announced recently, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool, but also I can't play it because motion sickness. But I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't recently. Some wild Sonic news, yeah. Curious to see how he does, because, like, the other voice actors have done pretty well. Well, the voices, like, they're not all voice actors, but they voiced the characters pretty well, from what I hear. I haven't seen the movie. The last movie I saw was fucking Finding Dory. And I only saw it because, like, I went on a cruise with my family for some celebration. I don't remember what it was. But, like, on the cruise, they showed that movie. And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that. Before that, before Finding Dory, the last movie I saw, I'm pretty sure, was Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, you know, I don't watch movies all that much. At some point, I was like, I should watch the Detective Pikachu movie and the Mario movie, and then I just didn't. That wasn't too long. Time moves on. We must move with it. So those are some choices in movies, yeah. I mean, for the most part, like, I've never really gone to see a movie by myself. It was always a family thing. Like, we'd go out to see a movie together, and then, like, that was our outing for the day or whatever. You know, fun times. But, I only go by myself, yeah. I generally don't really go out by myself. I prefer to stay home wherever I can. I'm not really a go out and do things kind of person, you know? Here's the thing. I remember, like, people... I don't know if it's a thing people still say, but I feel like at some point people were saying, oh, you should spend money on, like, experiences rather than on goods or whatever, buying like shit. But I'm like, my memory's so garbage. If I go out and experience something, I'm not gonna remember it clearly. I'd rather just have something I can look at and be like, yeah, that's a thing I own, it's nice. Like, I've been on holiday with my family a fair few times, but like, my memories about them are incredibly vague. I know I've been places, but it's like, you want to ask me about those places? I can't tell you shit. So I feel like nowadays, now that, like, you know, my brother and I have moved out and we don't, like, do family vacations or whatever anymore, the only reason I'd be traveling... The only reason I would want to travel, like, particularly far would be if I was visiting someone. Like, either, as is usually the case, visiting my parents, or if I was going, like, overseas, it'd be to visit, like, a friend or something. But, like, you know, all of my friends are like anonymous behind VTuber names and shit, so like we don't know where we all live. We have a vague, like, oh, we're in this country, and that's it. So, you know, I don't know. That's the thing about being a VTuber. we're like hidden behind models and shit. I do prefer doing this than like showing my actual face. I don't have to put any effort into my actual appearance. But you know, there are limitations with the genre. Of course, some VTubers just show their face anyway. I was like, yeah, fine. You do you. Ever since I became a VTuber, I'm like, I am not showing my face ever again. Now that I have this model I can use to represent myself, that is me now. So I like tubers, they're more true to themselves. I mean, you can be true to yourself with, like, webcam as well. But, like, yeah. For me, the anonymity does sort of help me be more open about myself, I guess. Talk about things that I wouldn't if it was like permanently linked to my IRL identity. But yeah. Oh heck, when does that challenge end actually? I was just thinking about the Lego thing I built on stream. Cause like, after speaking to the introverted self couldn't do it, yeah. That's me! After speaking to LEGO support, they were like, yeah, you can use your chosen name anywhere that would be shown publicly. We just need your legal name for, like, internal documentation and stuff. So I ended up actually submitting my thing to the challenge on LEGO Ideas. When does that end? I think it's ending pretty soon. Submissions. Oh yeah, and ends in like 4 days. So if you want to submit something yourself, you better act fast. So like in... Oh geez, that's... Oh no. I was like... they don't announce the winner until May 16th? That's so far away. Like, no. May is next month, you dumbass. So yeah, they close applications on April 24th. Then there's like 3 days for them for the experts over at LEGO to review the ideas and decide on like the top however many. I think it's top 10, and then they have like a week for people to vote on which of the top 10 they want made into a real set. Honestly, with how like open the theme is, and with all the stuff I've seen on there, I don't think I'm in with a shot, but it's still, you know, nice to have a go at it. And I'm keeping my eyes out for other challenges to submit to. I think there was one recently where it was like specifically based on one of their recent sets that like I have no interest in, because it's all about like racing and whatnot. Car racing. I don't know shit about that. But yeah. Who knows, maybe... Oh, I still need to work on that other idea I had. One that like I wanted to like once I got it all sorted, I wanted to submit it as like an actual proper idea and not just a challenge submission. It was like, I can show it on stream. I've got images of it. Da, 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 da. I've still got to work on this a bit. So the idea Ta-da! I've got these little things. So the idea behind these, right? I wanted to sort of make something like a, what's it called? Like a monster catcher game, sort of like Pokemon or whatever, but like with Lego. So I had the idea of like, what if I make like a little creature out of Lego, and then I try to make a couple alternate builds to show like, oh, you can make a bunch of other things using the same parts. So I first made the turtle, and then I tried to figure out what else can I make with these parts, because I've fucking screwed myself with the parts I chose. So then I had a heckin' the middle one's supposed to be a crab, and then the right one is based on like that ancient sea creature, fucking Animalacaris. So the idea was I was going to make like 6 or 7 of these, each with 2 alternate builds, and then have some sort of like battle arena based on like the schoolyard from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And then I'd submit that as an idea and be like, hey, support this idea if you want to see it made into a real set. So I made the turtle as like proof of concept, and then I tried to make another one that was like this is the water type. I was gonna make a plant type one based on an elephant, but I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. I have some ideas of how I can make it better, but I've just never gotten around to it. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that on stream. Who knows? Got so much I want to do. So little time, so little energy. But yeah. I think before I completely destroy my throat, we're like close enough to when I would normally end stream, so I think I'm gonna cap things off there. Thank you for the redeem, Theo. So, to recap what happened at the start of the stream, with me like talking about my plans for the future of streaming, I'd like to do more like self-indulgent rambling about things that other people shouldn't really care about because they're just like my ideas, but I want to, get them out there. I would like to continue doing Lego streams and, do more Lego building stuff, potentially for like more edited Lego videos at some point. And for gaming streams, I'm planning to just focus on one game at a time instead of jumping around between a bunch of different things, because with how long the games I like to play are, jumping around between a whole bunch of different things kind of means I'm making like no progress most of the time, and it gets a bit discouraging. And then tomorrow's stream, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be rambling again, but this time rambling with a purpose. We're going to be talking about the lore of Teppen from the perspective of someone who doesn't really play any Capcom games besides Ace Attorney or Okami. So that's going to be fun. I've had it in mind since January, and we're finally going to do it. Yeah, I haven't tested whether I can actually capture the PowerPoint presentation, so I should do that after the stream. Also, potentially drawing streams at some point, I don't know. I'll have to, I don't know. Give it a feel, see if that's something I want to do. Anyway. Oh, the follower goal is still on, by the way. If I get enough followers, one of my gaming series will be a Nuzlocke at some point. Anyway, Miko's already. Have I? Okay, good. No. I was like, is my desktop audio still on? No, I did remember to mute it at the end of last stream. So Miko raided us, so we can't raid Miko. Who else is on? There are A lot of people on it this time. Who do I actually want to raid? I can always raid Miko. No. Miko's already ended. No. Why is it... I'm trying to scroll up. Stupid thing. Normally at this time on like Saturday, depending who's online, I normally either raid Miko or Bun. But like Miko's already ended and Bun's not on. You know what, sure. I don't know shit about this game. There are a bunch of folks here that I am familiar with, so I'm going to raid. Da-da-da. We're gonna raid Buffy. Space Buffoon. They are currently playing Content Warning, I think. I think that's what it's called. That new game, I don't know shit about it. I've just seen people playing it and be like, yep, that's definitely a thing that exists now. They are currently playing with Loot and Mono, and Pinch isn't in their stream title, but Pinch looks to be there as well. But a bunch of cool folks playing what I assume is a cool game. So let's show them some support. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for tuning in, listening to me ramble about bullshit. Pretty much the new Lethal Company. I don't know shit about Lethal Company either. Look, I can't play first-person games. They give me motion sickness. So I don't know shit about any of these games. Anyway, thanks for watching. Otsukame. Bye bye. And scene.